Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady viewing at home, it's your boy Germ. You already know what the deal is. It's Kinetic Aesthetic. It's sports talk time. I just dropped my phone. And I'm not alone. I got Cam with me. Cam, say what's up.
Yo, 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 everybody.
Y'all already know the deal. It's sports talk time. We have a couple of topics that we want to talk about. So we're going to do our best to yap your ear off for the next hour or so as we give you the best sports intake that you can get from two Midwest niggas who just love to talk sports. Now, I want to start off with the MLB All-Star Game. I am a very big proponent that, at least for the MLB and for the NBA, the regular season does not matter, especially more so the first half of it. It does not matter until after the All-Star festivities are done and the teams are really starting to jockey for that position and really starting to kick it into gear. We saw it with NBA season this past season. We see it. Hopefully, we're going to see it with MLB that everything starts to get a lot more exciting. Cam, I'm gonna let you go first, but what are your thoughts on not only the All-Star game and the festivities, the home run derby and all of that, but what do you want to talk about going forward for this rest of the season?
So I'll start with the All-Star game and the home run derby. First of all, shout out to Jordan
Yes.
Walker. Uh, his mom is a Harvard grad and his dad is an MIT grad. On top of all of this, yeah, on top of him being 6'6", handsome, and can hit a baseball 450 feet, as if he's just like moving a cart at Aldi's, right? Like it's kind of ridiculous. But in case, as a some context for people who may or not have been able to watch it, the home run derby moved to a new format this year. Previously, you had 2 minutes to hit as many home runs as you possibly could, and it was however many home runs you hit in that amount of time. They changed it this year where it's now they're still kind of head-to-heads, right? There's four head-to-heads, like 1v1s, right? And it's based on you have a certain amount of swings. So in the first round, I think you had 15. No, let me double check. There's a certain amount of swings you get per round. Do, 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 do. I just want to double check this particular one. Okay, so first round was right. You get 20 swings. There's no timer. There's no outs, right? So like it's not a 3-out rule. It's however many homers you can hit with 20 swings in the first round, and how many homers you can hit in 15 swings for the second round and the final. And then an added rule is that your run cannot end on a
Mm.
home run. So even if you're down in your 14th swing, you take that last swing, you get a home run, you can keep going until you miss. This is important because Phillies player Kyle Schwarber, uh, jokingly, lovingly referred to as Schwarber bomb because because of his ability to hit home runs, like absolute nukes. It's kind of insane. He hit 11 home runs in the finals. So Bryce Harper didn't make it. Munetaka Murakami didn't make it. Jose Caminero didn't make it. Right? It was Schwarber versus Jordan Walker. Now, Jordan Walker has not historic. He's a good baseball player, great prospect. Historically, not been like a slugger. I think he has 22 home runs going to halfway point this year, which is fantastic. But previously, I think the most he hit in a single year was
Okay.
16. So he very much had the longest odds out of anybody present to win the home run derby this year. People thought Bryce Harper was probably going to do it. People thought Schwarber had a very good chance of doing it. Uh, People thought Caminero had a good chance. So, like, based on how all of those people have played thus far, in terms of like also their home run production historically. I mean, like Bryce Harper and Carl Schwarber have been playing the game for so long. Like, they can hit home runs. That's
That's
kind of
what
a
you
known fact.
associate their name with.
So right, right. You think Bryce Harper, you think, oh, you hit home runs in the World Series. Yes, yes, he has. Um, so Carl Schwarber hits 11 home runs, which is essentially three quarters. You had 15 home runs. No, you had 11 home runs and 15 swings, which is absurd if you think about it. Also, context, baseball is one of the few places where home field advantage actually matters more than just the crowd. Why? In case you're not a big baseball person, every baseball field has a certain amount of kind of minimum dimensions, I would say. but outside of that, you can make the park at any elevation you want. You can make right and left field at any shortness that you want. See Yankee Stadium right field being like 330 instead of 380, right? Like there, 380, 330 is a hyperbole, but it's short. Okay, that's all you need to know. Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Balls do not really leave there. Like you don't see a lot of home runs hit in that stadium on a regular basis. So let's just start there. The elevation is not great. The wind and humidity don't aren't conducive to hitting balls far. So let's start there. Kyle Schwarber hit 11 out of 15. Crazy. Jordan Walker then goes. Everyone's like, "Oh, Schwarber's got this in the bag." Jordan Walker goes up. Meanwhile, Jordan Walker is a 6'5", 6'6" baseball player, and I think he gets to 8 home runs in 14 swings. And now everyone's saying like, oh, Schwarber probably has this locked up. He has to go on a run where he hits 4 home runs in a row. I think he had hit 2 back to back, so he would have to have hit 6 in a row in order to win the home run derby. He goes and he hits 6 in a row, 6 home runs in 6 swings to be the first ever St. Louis Cardinal to win the
That's
home run
crazy.
derby. Especially when you think of like names like saying like I think Albert Pujols being a big name that people probably know being in the home run derby. He is the first St. Louis Cardinals player to win the home run derby in the Cardinals history, and the Cardinals are a very old
It's
team.
insane.
So shout out to Jordan Walker for that. I mean, he had Barry Bonds said that he had one of the best home runs Barry Bonds has ever seen in his life, which is saying something because Barry Bonds hit 700 of those personally.
It was really nice what he
Um,
came out and said after he won, talking about how he wanted to see more black kids in baseball. I like that.
which is such an interesting thing that we found ourselves in because like in the 90s and early 2000s, baseball had hella black people in it. You see uh oh my God, Mr. October. I almost said Reggie Miller. That's not the right Reggie Jackson, excuse me. Yeah, Reggie Jackson, Ricky Henderson, Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Sr., right? You had Tony Gwynn, Mr. Padre, one of the best hitters of all time, and for my money, the best hitter of all time. Like you have Barry Bonds, like all like baseball was at a certain point in time a very black sport. And specifically, I'm going to say this for very intentional purposes, a very American black sport. Because I know we have our Afro-Latin folks, and we love you all very
It's
dearly,
not the same.
but there just
It's
has
not the
been a
same.
shift. There has been a shift. I mean, you still have great players like Jazz Chisholm. You have, I think Eric Booth just got signed by the Orioles. He's going to be a good center fielder for them. Like, so it's not, and we're not saying that the MLB does not have good black players. We're just saying MLB used to be significantly blacker. You have Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, I think, in both playing baseball at the same time, which is a crazy thing to say out loud, right? Like,
I've always thought about that, about how like baseball has slowly become less and less favorable amongst the community. But that's such a I feel like it's such a nuanced conversation and topic that it'd be really hard for us to delve into the specifics of it here. That's a whole nother episode for another day.
it is, but I think though, like, understand why, right? Because baseball, yeah, once you get there, you can really set yourself up with generational wealth with how good their union is and all their contracts are guaranteed and there's no salary cap. So the limit to how much money you can make is truly
Less of a
unlimited, right?
physical toll on your body as much as football, especially, and in my opinion, to a lesser
hmm
extent, basketball.
Yeah. And like the thing is like with baseball, you don't need to be uber athletic to play. Like you don't have to be 6'6" with a 42-inch vertical to make a major league team, right? Like if you can ball at your position especially and in multiple positions, you can do damage. But the thing is the journey to get there is so much longer, right? You see baseball or you see basketball and football, first round draft picks are playing that next season. There are some people that were drafted in the first round of the MLB draft that happened like 3 or 4 days ago that will not see the field for another 3 years. And during that time, and that's potentially at best some people. Some people might not make it for another 5 or 6 years. Some people stay in the farm system. What you may recognize as A, triple A, or double A ball. It's A, double A, and triple A. So you might want to say that out of order, right? For years, because either you got drafted by a team that doesn't need you or needs your position. So like, let's say you're a center fielder for the Cubs. Shout out to PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. You're not being called up unless multiple people probably get injured or you show a variety of bat skill or the willingness to move to a different position, right? Like there's just certain positions that are just locked down. Like if you're trying to play first base for the Phillies, sorry, Bryce Harper, you have to wait till Bryce Harper retires, right? There's just certain uh, luck things and timing things that need to go your way for that to really work, and or for you to really make that transition smoothly and quickly. And sometimes you just don't get that. And sometimes also some dudes just don't pan out when it comes to like hitting major league pitching, which is hard. I don't know how to express how hard it is to hit a major league pitch. It's a genuinely scary experience. Not scary, but it's like it's mind warping. Like I've stepped into the batter's box like maybe 2 times with a major league pitcher. I was like, just throw me whatever. He truly did throw me whatever. I'm like, I don't know what happened. My hands hurt. I'm sweating. But like it. So the journey to getting to that place where you can make all that money, even though the rosters are bigger, is still so arduous and it's expensive, and you still got to pay your bills
That's
during that
exactly what I was
time.
gonna bring up. That's gotta be I mean, you can love the game as much as you want, but when you down there in AAA and all these other, like, farm systems trying to just make ends meet while you chasing a dream, that's hard, especially if you got kids and a family depending on you.
And they just increased how much money those G League players make like 3 years ago. It used to be like 45K. I think now it's like 60 or 75 and they get health care. But it used to be, you used to have to love it, brother. You used to have to sacrifice for it a whole lot. And some people, some great prospects just get really unlucky and get injured and they're just never the same, which is unfortunate and just flat out sucks. But I think I'll finish my point with this because I've been rambling for too long. But I think black kids aren't really encouraged to go into baseball because, and by all accounts, basketball and football are much quicker money,
Right. You're
right?
right.
If like if basketball and baseball are bank robbery, or if basketball and football are bank robbery, baseball is a fraud scheme, right? Very like yeah, the payout could be much easier, and you could get away with more things than you came with, but it's gonna take a minute, and it may not work in the end.
That is true. You know what? I wanna pause that conversation because 'cause you're right, I don't wanna spend too much time on just this, but that's honestly a very good point that you made and one that I agree with. I think it does come down to that just speed of which you can gain access. Because it's like you said, I didn't even think about that with baseball, but compared to basketball and football, shit, you if you get drafted at all, you are guaranteed basically to at least be in the G League, which is like one step below, and that's still better than the farm system in the MLB. The NFL is
Hmm.
like shit, you got 7 rounds. You make it, you make it. You don't,
You can still become an undrafted free agent and still
exactly.
get signed.
Practice squads galore. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. You got any predictions for the rest of the MLB season?
My Chicago White Sox are going to the playoffs. They're tied with the Cincinnati Guardians for the lead to the AL Central. And you know what? I'm going to soak this up. Why? Because we lost 100 games the past 2 years directly preceding this one. 100 games. People who aren't aware, the regular season has 162 games.
Y'all were ass.
Booty
As a
butt
Cubs
cheeks.
fan, I am happy for y'all. I'm happy for the city to have both teams like above 500 and doing well. I'm the Cubs are not in the lead for their division, so we'll see. They're still 5 games back, but hey, We've got PCA. We've got a lot of things to root to be happy for and be hopeful for. So I'm just hoping that both teams keep it up. Even if we can't get the division, let's get in the wild card and let's make some noise. I hope the White Sox continue to do the same thing. I just want Chicago to win. That's all I'm rooting for.
It wouldn't be crazy if it was the Cubs versus White Sox for the
I
World
say this
Series.
every single year that they're both in the playoffs. It has not happened yet, but it will happen one day. And I hope it happens in my lifetime.
It's I think it's so crazy that it hasn't happened historically yet, given how long both those franchises have existed.
I mean, the Cubs were lovable losers for such a long time.
I mean, yeah, y'all did go 116 years
Shut your
without
ass
winning
up.
a World
Shut
Series,
your
which
ass
is
up. Moving on.
y'all won it. I'm just saying that's just a fact. It's not even me talking shit. That's just how
Man,
the
that's the
numbers
way your
roll out.
tone sounded when
Okay,
you said. Now, moving on.
that's fine. I'm just saying.
Moving on. We have to talk about this Conor McGregor fight. UFC, they held a pay-per-view fight. It was the big he was fighting Dustin Poirier. That's his last name, right?
I think so. I can't in my mind. I say it Poirier, but I know that's
That's what I
incorrect.
just don't want to miss.
So
I don't want
don't
to
listen to
butcher it, but I
me.
think I got it close enough. Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. This was their third fight. There was a lot of hype going into this fight. There was a lot of excitement. I'd heard about it. I wasn't even like somebody that's big into UFC fights, but I'd been hearing so much about it that I was like ready to check it out. Why is it that in the first 5 seconds, this man goes for a jumping, like spinning kick, leg gives out, and it's over basically from there? Conor McGregor gets knocked out. Underwhelming fight of the century. I I'm gonna be honest with you. Conor has a lot of like nasty things on his name, things that I just sort of don't agree with. So I'm not really sad for him. I'm sad for the people that really just want to get a good show and good entertainment. Uh, but at the end of the day, this is, sometimes God humbles you in different ways. And with
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
all other only other thing I was gonna say was, but when you look at the way this fight went for Conor after 5 years off, I think it's clear to say it's time to hang him up. It's time to just ride off into the sunset. You've done your thing. You have been an icon and you've done more for the sport than most. It's just time to fade in the background because fighting ain't for you. You can't, when your body tells you that, it's like basically just saying, hey, I ain't got it no more. Cam, what's your thoughts?
Father Time remains undefeated regardless of how many Tom Brady's, LeBron James's, Derek Jeters
Every
that
time
we
we get
see.
fooled by one
Yeah,
of
because
them, he just reminds us by humbling somebody else.
or humbling them later. See Tom Brady. See Peyton Manning in Denver. People's like, oh, he won a Super Bowl. Watch the games, okay? And you tell me what you see there, right? Like, and it happens to all of the greats. They think I still got a little bit left in me. See, look at that. Remember that Vince Carter meme, right? I still got something left in me, right? And this is fighting combat sports are one of those things where you can't guess that you have it in you. You have to know, and you have to have had a fight recently to back that up because, like, it, you can seriously damage not only your body, but your psyche and your reputation if you go out too bad in combat sports.
And my thing about it, I hate to
Like,
interrupt you
it,
one more time. My
I know you're
thing
good.
about it with Connor is I already was going into this wondering if he's doing this just because he really wanted to fight again or if he needed some money. So I don't really know like what the deal is with this whole situation. I'm not trying to pocket watch the man right now. This is sports talk, not pocket watch. So all I can really say is that I hope that this was a fight that I hope that this was just something that he wanted to do for fun. Like he just missed the sport and missed being Conor McGregor in the octagon. But even with that said, it's time. It's time. It's been too long. you're washed. Respectfully, you're washed.
Also, kinetic aesthetic would like to put out, we don't support people convicted of sexual assault or rape. Not something we do around here. We
So,
respect
I
women
was gonna
around
leave it
here.
alone and not even bring it up, but yeah, that's exactly right. Like, bro, like
Nah, nah, we ain't
we
leaving
were
this one
very I
alone.
was very
This is
happy that
was
he lost. He's not Listen, I don't know. Conor McGregor just feels like to me just another what's a good word to put to use for Conor McGregor? He's just another shit stain that right now is a little bit I wish he just wasn't as big of a thing as he is. I wish that people wouldn't have been as excited for him to even have this fight. But I'm happy that things went the way they went because this is listen, like seeing people like Drake put bets on him and everything like that, again, not a good look. This man doesn't
Drake is cursed. That man is
but
cursed.
just
He needed to roll back to this Kawhi Leonard in Toronto to win the championship, and for two people to break major bones in their bodies for it to happen. Not important, sorry, but Drake is just cursed when it comes to
and
sports
so
betting.
I'm just at this point now when it comes to this man and just like things. I feel like Connor is an example of something that's just like the time has passed him by. He's a relic at this point. He's an unnecessary, just like bad for PR, just relic. And I don't really think that the UFC should be trying to market him as still as their big guy. I know people are talking about Dana probably feels like such a putz for even like hyping this up as much as he did, and he should because this wasn't. I don't like the UFC for a lot of reasons. I feel like if I start to like delve into that, it's going to delve into
Yeah, and that's a big
because
can of
there's
worms.
TKO. I'll start to rant about how I hate what they're doing to WWE right now. It's just
And then you have the racism, the domestic violence. All like, and let's not joke ourselves and say that this stuff isn't in other sports. It is, but it's just in the UFC, you can tell that it's
there's a
different
different
in a way that I can't really describe very
there's a
well at this
different
moment in
energy
time.
around it. There's a different vibe. There's a different feeling. This is the same organization that had its main motherfucker slap his wife and like nothing happened.
In
These are the
public,
same motherfuckers who are behind Power Slap.
real, I did not know that.
Yes,
That's
Dana
crazy.
White is behind Power Slap. That's his shit.
I should have known.
Like
I should have known.
I don't really I love the spirit of what UFC is supposed to be, but the people that run it and the way that it is run just as a business and organization sours me on it. And I hate that boxing is the way it is right now with all the celebrity shit running amok and it's not really more focused on the fighters anymore because I wish that they would be able to come in and fill that void because right now there really isn't anything to get excited about from either side. I have been out on the UFC since they fucked up with Francis Ngannou and he's been gone. That was when I was just like, you know what, you guys don't even want to keep your best heavyweight, which is like, I'm sorry, I'm a heavyweight guy. I want to see the big guys slugging it out and duking it out. I was a fan when Brock came in. So for them to be at the point where they're at after this whole UFC 250 with where they were at the White House lawn and that whole debacle, I am I am just sort of over the UFC. And it feels like that whole fight with Connor just summed up how I feel about it right now. It's just like you get excited about him and then they just let you down with that type of bullshit. But couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Fuck Dana. Fuck TKO. Fuck the UFC. And you know what? While I'm at it, fuck WWE too. I love the performers there, but there's just I'm not fucking with a lot of I'm not fucking with that whole conglomerate right. All right. But moving on, I've got all the fuck yous out of the way. So
Well, you really thought like, while
yeah,
I'm at it,
I might as well.
you
I've
know
already
what?
said the first couple, I might as well complete the job. But moving on, WNBA. So lately I've been starting to follow the WNBA a little bit more. I've been getting more and more into it. Aja Wilson is the best basketball player damn near on earth right now. And the one thing that I wanted to say before I hand it off to Cam as he starts to tell y'all more about it and give you some more details, because I'm a novice at the moment. The reason why it has been so hard for me to really, and I talked about this a little bit a while ago in one of my sports talks in an episode with the WNBA, is that I was so just put off by the way the league is covered, by the attention the league has gotten, by the way we've had at this point political figures who are starting to try to get involved, start to make noise around the league as if it's necessary, all because of one common factor. And the thing about it is, and I'm talking about Caitlin Clark, I ain't even gonna try to sugarcoat the shit. I don't necessarily blame Caitlin herself. I don't think that I've seen anything from her. I've tried to look where she has overtly embraced that whole side, especially what they're standing for and the little undertones that they have to them. She's tried to distance herself from that, although I will say she's at the same time, she very much hits me as a Michael Jordan, as a capitalist, LeBron James, as in she knows to not necessarily completely divorce herself from them. Otherwise, it may hurt her fund, not her funding, but her sales and her revenue and things of that nature. And I say all that to say her sycophant of fans, just the whole discourse surrounding her, and to a lesser degree, Angel Reese, who, as I talked about before, has been dealing with the black woman hate sink syndrome of just being that black woman they just choose to, whenever there's a woman that they want to pick on, a successful black woman, they're going to pick her. We've seen it with Michelle Obama. We see it with pretty much any black woman that gets successful, but especially with Michelle Obama and Angel Reese. All the Sid from Ice Age jokes all the time that they just find jokes, what for some reason to bring her up to make fun of her. Again, I bring up how I've seen fake quotes about her posted on Facebook and then seen motherfuckers I've seen have had motherfuckers in real life bring them up to me. So it is frustrating, that discourse that surrounds them. It's frustrating how the WNBA, although it has gotten so much more successful, although it has gotten so much bigger, it has been off the backs of culture war discourse that is toxic. And there's so much talent in the league, so much charisma, so many people, so many like characters that it'd be easy to really just go based off of that, but that isn't enough for most of the media. And that's why I've been so just frustrated with it. But before I start to ramble anymore, all I'll just finish off by saying is that if you are like me, if you are put off by the way the league is talked about, by all the hoopla surrounding it, and I just saw a news report about how Adam Silver had to force the commissioner, had to like basically like reach out and suggest to her that they actually suspend that the player for putting a fist into Caitlin Clark's throat. It's it's to the point with that type. If you are tired of that type of shit, if you are put off by that, I implore you to just ignore those feelings and just watch for the talent, because there's a lot of it out. But Cam, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah. So let's see. I've been watching the WNBA since I was like 9 or 10. My mom would take me to Chicago Sky games, like back when like they were like, I mean, they're still relatively inexpensive now in comparison to other WNBA teams, but back then they're like $12 a ticket. Like you could get in and you could just see people hoop. I have one of my prized hoodie possessions is the Chicago Sky. I think it was like the 25th anniversary of the WNBA when they won the championship with Candace Parker and Kalia Copper and those folks like that. Oh, things I thought I would never see. The Chicago Sky winning the WNBA championship, not because I didn't think it was possible. I just it hadn't happened, so I was like, but it fantastic. Anywho, the WNBA suffers, I think, three very unfortunate problems. One, misogynoir. Majority of the WNBA is made up of black women. It will almost always be made up of mainly black women. And so you're fighting against two structural forces of both racism and misogyny that are just going to be ever present in sports because those are the systems we've created and are perpetuating, right? People always make these comments, oh, they should lower the rim this, they should do this. And no, these women have been hoopers their whole lives without having a dunk. AJ Wilson will put 99% of human beings in a blender right now today. I don't really care where you play high school basketball at. That's just that's just what the deal is, right? Like, so it's misogynoir. Two, they've had trouble getting a commissioner that is willing to meet the moment. And this is no shade to Kathy. I mean, and also let me double check. I, I don't want to. I don't know her like that, so I'm gonna call her full name. Kathy
Okay.
Engelbert is her whole name. So I'm not no shade to Kathy, but there's just certain things that she's not doing that she could be doing that could help solidify President Lee. Like most recently, before the season started, there was talks that there could be a lockout, like a 1 year into Paige Becker's rookie Olivia Miles, 2 years into Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese lockout because of CBA negotiations going awry because the league was so far away from what the players thought they deserved. And you know what? I am I agree completely with the players on this. Like if you had like I don't know how you could see a player like Dewana Bonner hoop and be like, nah, she needs to take a pay cut. I don't know how you can see a player like Asia Wilson be like, ah, nah, she needs to take a pay cut, or Brianna Stewart, or Brittany Griner, right? Or like so many different players that I'm like, if you watch them ball in real time, you can't deny their talent, their value on the basketball court, and their value to their franchise. And so there's almost a lockout. Like, so we almost didn't have an NBA season. I think it was last season,
Yep.
almost. So like, why is like not saying it doesn't happen, right? Almost every sport almost goes into a lockout every time a CBA negotiation is up. That's not new, but it's the unwillingness to make such like just simple things, like because something happened last season, or it was a season or 2 seasons ago, where a player who was pregnant got waived off of a team while they were on maternity leave, which obviously changes your health insurance, changes where you live at, changes all so many things about your life because you've been traded or waived, and there wasn't an exemption about no, like, but players who are on maternity leave or currently childbearing have have to. I think it's either give a certain amount of approval or they're not allowed to be moved until a certain amount of time after, right? Or something like that should be built into the league that's full of women. I don't know. I know everybody ain't trying to have babies, but you should at least put some things in place to make sure those people who make that decision are
Protected.
taken care of, right? Like that. But no one's perfect. There's a lot of other things at a CBA that go into it. I'm just saying, like, there's just certain things that Kathy has struggled to do that are, I wouldn't say hurting, but they're not helping the WNBA right now. Now, that's the negative. The positive, y'all, these motherfuckers is hooping. Okay? I need you right now. I need you right now today. Pause the podcast, open up another window on the side. I need you to look up Asia Wilson highlights, career highlights. Okay?
A
Career
and
highlights. I need this to be
A,
very
isn't
clear.
it?
Both her both her career in South Carolina, shout out to John Staley, and her career with the Las Vegas Aces. She is a hooper, and she be absolutely cooking, folks. I don't really know how else to describe it other than she be cooking, folks. But when you watch it, you will understand why I say she be cooking, folks. And then you have obviously the Paige Beckers of the world. You have the Sabrina Ionescu's of the world, the Brianna Stewarts of the world. Um, yeah, the Cameron Brinks of the world. Like so many fantastic. Shout out to Kelsey Plum, former University of Washington dog, also a hooper, WNBA champ, multiple time WNBA champion if I remember correctly, right? So like there is certain there are wherever you are, find a team that's near to where you are. If you can, go see a game because the games
Affordable.
are fantastic. They're affordable and they're fantastic. They're a lot of fun. Like there's a very welcoming environment. People all ages, all races. Like it's very diverse. It's very fun. They keep it entertaining. Um, so I highly recommend that if you can like get to a game, go to a game. If you can't get to a game, try to watch some. Like you will not be disappointed with either the product you see on the court or your experience. We are not sponsored by the WNBA. The WNBA is lit. I don't know how else to describe it to y'all. It's lit. Experience it for yourself. And like again, some of these players have cosigns from Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, right? Players that
And
you
that's
should
that is
respect.
something also to
Um,
mention. The NBA players that are like that everybody talks about all the time that they all these guys love to see. They're also the biggest ones who will be trying to tell people, "Yo, the WNBA is lit. They're really hooping out there. Like they're getting buckets. Like it's not a." I think the problem, like you said, goes back to all the just misogynoir. Because at the end of the day, if you love basketball, you should be watching the W.
well, you should be
Love
loving the WNBA. It's all
basketball
basketball.
itself. I get tired of hearing dudes because they like try to come up with all these stupid excuses. At the end of the day, if you don't want to watch women do something or anything, that's fine. But don't try to hide behind anything because at the end of the day, they women's sports tend to be more technically sound. They tend to be more fluid, and they just tend to have the fundamentals more down pat. They're not. Yeah,
Because they can't coast on
exactly.
athleticism. So they have to your handle has to be tight if you 5'6". You have to be able to pass. You have to be able to throw entry passes and run the offense because you're just not going to see the you're not going to see the court if you can't do those things.
Exactly. So I've been impressed by the WNBA that I've seen. I'm definitely going to be watching more. Like I always enjoyed watching the college. I will say I always watch not the W, but the women's college basketball national championship. That's something that I've always watched. So I've always been able to appreciate women's basketball. So, but it does feel like this is the first time the WNBA has really had some characters in it. And again, I'm not going to go back again into that whole culture war and whole diatribe I went into. But even just those past those two, you've got Paige, you've got the point girl, you've got all of these, and they still have, and they've got Ivy Miles, who you talked about with the glasses.
Olivia Miles, yeah, 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 with the glasses in Minnesota, it's a rookie
So
year.
I just they have people to really get behind that are identifiable. So I think that's really what I think that people should be checking out for because there's somebody out there for you to become a fan of and get and like really get like behind.
Respectfully, fuck all that. Go watch Maya Moore highlights. Talk about a hooper. Talk about an absolute dog. Everybody in the WNBA is lucky that she retired early to go pursue equity and justice. 'Cause if not, man, ain't
I'm
nobody
waiting
winning
for
this
Aja
championship.
Wilson.
Asia Wilson's also a dog. And actually, and I have a few moments of something I want to
Okay.
read off real fast. So Maya Moore played for Minnesota Lynx from 2011 to 2018 and played for UConn women's from 2007 to 2011. She won 4 championships in 7 years in 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017. Four of them. Okay. She was a Founders MVP 2013, regular season MVP 2014, 6-time All Star out of 7 years, 3-time NBA All Star game MVP, 5-time All NBA first team in those 7 years, 7 seasons, two-time All NBA defensive team. She's a WNBA. She was a leader in steals in 2018, scoring leader in 2014, Rookie of the Year in 2011. Her number was retired by the Minnesota Lynx. Two-time EuroLeague champion, two-time NCAA champion, and if I remember correctly, she won more games than she missed
Mm,
in college.
damn.
Uh, like that UConn team was crazy. There's a crazy stat that I need to find. Oh yeah, actually, here it is. Maya Moore won 150 games in college. Guess how many she lost? No, she lost four. Zero would have been absolutely insane, but she won 150 and four, and she was there all 4 years.
Damn. Okay, that is a
Uh-huh.
resume.
She scored 3,036 points in those 4 years, and those 154 games. She's fourth all time in D1 women's basketball.
That's insane.
So all and like and to make things as if we need to have any more of a Maya Moore complex. You want to know why she left
Why?
basketball as arguably one of the best basketball players of all time? She left basketball to start doing clemency work and helping people who were wrongly convicted get out of prison.
Literally saw her. I saw an Instagram post. I didn't realize that was her. But that's she retired early to do that shit too.
She retired yes. She gave you 7 years of the best basketball you may ever see in your life, winning every possible human thing, and it was
She
like,
was trying to help somebody
I
get
can do something
she's
better
trying to
with
help
my
somebody
time.
important to get
And
free or
she's like,
something. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
oh yeah, no, like she was I think one of her first people she helped get free was her husband or her eventual husband. But she's been working, I think, doing clemency and working with incarcerated people since.
She she's dope.
And prosecutorial reform. She's been working on that and prosecutorial reform as well. So like again, go look up Maya Moore, both her social justice work and who she was as a hooper, because who she was as a hooper is one of the best basketball players, men and women of
She's
all
like the
time. I'm sorry. You can't win a championship every other year for the sport amount of time you're in there. Be that good in college.
what is it about Chicago athletes and just going like retiring and then going into like law work? Her, Peanut Tillman,
She's not from Chicago. She she played for Minnesota.
but she didn't. She's not from Illinois.
No, she's from Missouri.
Candace Parker is who I'm thinking of.
Candace Parker, also a hooper.
Okay,
Who?
okay, okay.
Candace
Apologize.
Parker is a
Both of those women are ghosts who deserve to
hooper.
be recognized in their own right.
Talk about Talk about absolute buckets. Jesus Christ. Candace Parker was a walking bucket. Jeez. Anywho, but yeah, no, go watch Maya Moore highlights. Go look at Maya Moore. Also, the WNBA merch goes crazy. WNBA merch goes very hard. The bad thing about it though is because they make so little of it, it sells out so fast.
Shout out the Chicago Sky. Shout out the Seattle Storm. Shout out my WNBA teams, man. I'm rooting for all of y'all. I want y'all to succeed.
The new one, the Portland Rose, I think the Portland Rose and the Toronto Tempo just got
I
added
like
this year.
I like those names.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna sleep.
yeah, yeah. The Portland court looks really good. Like it. Also, this is the 30-year anniversary of the WNBA, by the way. So wait, that's so crazy. The WNBA and Pokemon started in the same year. That is such a fun factoid.
That is hard. Okay. All right. Now, last little suck.
Oh wait, one last thing. No, look at these. Look at the all some of the Nike like All Star Game warm ups for the
That's sort of
WNBA this
hard.
year. And then I have like I think this is for like the West, like the pink, red, and orange version. I told you the WNBA does merch well. They just don't make enough of it, which is always sad. Anywho,
I like it. I like what they're going for. Now, the last thing we want to talk about, we want to bring to y'all is some World Cup talk. Now, we talked about it last time. I have been paying more attention, but I'm already discouraged because the one motherfucker that I didn't want to see succeed to get ahead, they've been doing just that. I'm talking about Argentina. Fuck them. I'm not going to get into why. Y'all should know why at this point. We don't want Argentina to win this. France, who I thought was going to be the biggest obstacle for them and be the one that would like prevent them, they're already out. Cam, what are your thoughts?
for all the French fans, this is a safe space. Let
I've
it
always
out.
wanted to be Paris, so
Let it
I
out.
was rooting for France. So I'm
Let it out. This is a safe space. Y'all look like a juggernaut for every single game except for this one, which is so unfortunate. Pro, you can now beat England in the third place game, put them in fourth. Something to look forward to. Um, But no, Spain versus Argentina. This is one like someone made a tweet earlier today that I saw that like really sums up kind of how I feel about the World Cup final. It's like usually in a colonizer, this is one of the few colonizer colonized matchups where I'm like, well, let's look at the nuance here instead of just rooting for the colonized country outright. Because this is one of them like
Right.
there are some details, but put that to the side. The soccer though, time in and time out this World Cup, we have seen the football gods will punish cowardice at every single opportunity. England took out some of their best players and became a more defensive team when they are only up 1 goal. That's the thing. People are being too defensive too early. If you're up 3 goals, you could probably relax a little bit, especially if you're in the second half. If you have 1 goal, you've seen some of the wackiest, some of the dopest, and some of the weirdest goals in this World Cup. Feel like 1 goal is nothing. 1 goal is absolutely nothing. 1 goal might as well be 2 points against an open Steph Curry.
Facts.
Gone. Right? Like you have, especially going up against a team like Argentina that has one of the best players, if not the best soccer player of all time. Now, he didn't score those goals, but he directly assisted the second goal at the very least. So, like, if we have learned nothing from any of the countries in this World Cup, you have to know you have to bury your opponent. You have to put them, and you have to make people think, okay, this is getting excessive. Because that's the only time when it's safe. When you're up 4-0, 3-0, 3-1, something of that nature, like what Belgium did to the US. They buried us. And they should have. Because if they had played passive, if they had stopped trying to create chances and making runs in behind, there's a chance we could have came back, especially if we had gotten more free kicks near our penalty area, free kicks on our attacking third. Like that game could have been different, but they kept a foot on our necks. And time in and time out, England has learned this lesson. France didn't have a single shot on goal all that game, by the way. Something I want to say. I need to say this. There is one team which played both teams that are in the final and did not lose to either of them. Do you know which
What
country this
country
is?
is it?
Cabo Verde. The small
Still hate.
African country,
I still
African
hate Carol.
island. Bro, if they were playing anyone but Argentina, they probably would have made it at least to the quarterfinal. Because Argentina, it took 111 minutes to score that third goal, and it was an own goal at that. Spain didn't score against them in 90 minutes. Uh, it would have been interesting to see if they went to 120 minutes, but it wasn't going to because it's a group stage game. So like I say, you give them third place and like France and England duke it out for fourth. That's my opinion to the at this moment. But I mean the World Cup is going to be entertaining, right? You have Lamine Yamal versus Lionel Messi for all the marbles. If Lionel Messi wins back-to-back World Cups, I don't know I think he should retire. I think he should just straight up retire from MLS, from national team soccer, from doing his own laundry. Like he needs to just like
Yeah,
he
I
would
mean,
have
prove it.
done the thing back to back. And it'll probably come with a golden boot if he does win it. So you can add that to the trophy case also. So like this would be the closest thing to leaving on the mountaintop as I could possibly imagine in sports. Like you go out after winning your country their third World Cup. That actually might be their fourth. After you just won it 4 years ago for your first World Cup, and this team is not as good as that team all in all. I think everyone who's watched both can probably agree with that. The 2026 Argentina is not 2022 Argentina.
You might have to give it to him.
That it would be like LeBron retiring after coming back down 3-1. Like you can't say anything. There's nothing to discredit at that point. And so, but no one listens to me when I say you should probably retire while you're on top because that's not how greatness works. I understand. I understand it's not the logical thing. Like it would be the logical thing to do. But if you think you still got it, then you're gonna play. But if Lamine Yamal wins, we're gonna have to start saying like it might be a similar situation to SGA and Victor. Or like Mbappe has been the best in the world for, or arguably one of the best in the world for a minute. Not a long time, but a minute. But Lamine Yamal has in some way, shape, or form stopped him from getting 8 different trophies in the past 3 years. I think multiple Euro championships, stopped him from getting a World Cup this year, multiple Champions
Mhm.
League championships. Lamine Yamal has stood in Mbappe's way in one way, shape, or form. And so if Lamine Yamal wins this, I'm not saying he's as good as Mbappe. Still a lot to prove in that area. But we start having uncomfortable conversations where do you rank Lamine Yamal if he performs well in the final and continues to play well for Barcelona, right? But the door starts creeping open a little bit if he does bring Spain to the finish line and wins a World Cup at his age, as a almost consensus one of the best players, if not the best player on that team. Sorry, that was a bit of a
No,
diatribe,
no,
but
no.
there's a lot there.
I I completely agree with where you're coming from. I'm trying to figure out how I feel because at the end of the day, I just don't want Argentina to win. I still look back at it like I don't necessarily like. I'm still getting used to and getting into the football thing, so it really not even comes down to the players for me. Like, and I still don't necessarily know if I don't like. I hate Argentina, but I don't necessarily dislike Messi to that point. But
Mm,
because I don't know too much about Messi, he gives me. I've had people who told me that he's not like the rest of Argentina, like he himself.
mhm, mhm.
So I am just going to I'm gonna root that Argentina doesn't get this one. I do agree. Like if Messi wins this and you get 2 in a row, you might as well just go out on top like that because it's hard to debate. It's hard to fucking debate that.
You're not playing another one in 4 years. He'll be like in his 40s.
So that would be impossible to sort of like pass up. But in that case, I mean, I do hope that Spain wins it just so we get a little bit more of seeing a guy that good play. We already just lost Ronaldo. Uh,
Man, him going out like that, him Portugal going out like that was kind of sad to see.
it was, but it happens. But
It do have us everybody at one point or another, unfortunately.
I am. It is going to be interesting to see this game. It's this Sunday noon. I am gonna be at work yet, so I'm
Mhm.
definitely gonna have to tune in to watch that. You, what is your prediction?
I think it depends on who scores first. Because I think who scores first changes the other side's game plan. I think Argentina, they want to maintain possession. They want to keep it out of Spain's hands. They want to continually apply pressure and attack, but not so suddenly that they open themselves up to a counter, right? Because Lamine Yamal could probably burn most of the Argentinian left side with his speed and his explosiveness. And we've seen when given chances, Spain will take them. So I think if Argentina don't score in the first 40 minutes, I think they'll lose.
I am inclined. I want Spain to win, but at this point, I feel like with the way Argentina's been playing through the whole thing, and just especially since I started paying attention, I'm just inclined to think that Messi and they're just going to complete it. So my heart is telling me Spain, but my brain is telling me Argentina. So
Right?
that's probably where I'm going to have to lean on it for this one. It's going to be an interesting match for sure.
Mhm.
Soccer gets intense, man. I'm gonna tell you that just from watching it, it gets intense. So
There's a tension there that is like you can feel it. Like once the ball starts traveling down towards the goal, everyone just kind of
yeah,
like hearts start beating a little
what's about
bit.
to happen?
Whenever a free kick goes into the air, a corner kick goes into the air, because it can all change like that, right? Like in the Argentina France game, that that assist by Messi could have easily just been like headed away, into oblivion, but it got put right on somebody's forehead, and the game was completely different within seconds. Uh, Only thing similar to that in American sports or a traditionally American sport is a home run in baseball.
Pretty much it. All right. But I think that is everything. I think we've talked about most of the topics. There's nothing to talk about in the NBA. LeBron is still blue balling everybody on where he's going to go. We have no fucking clue. Um, and with our luck, he is probably going to announce this shit either tonight or tomorrow as everybody's watching this, knowing LeBron. Um, it
That would
would
be funny. I would find
it
that
would
to
be
be entertaining personally.
hilarious.
I can't lie to you.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything. There's none like no NFL. Anything you want to talk about? Any little tidbit?
This is random. I feel bad for Oakland.
Why?
They lost the Warriors to San Francisco, the A's to Las Vegas, and the Raiders to Las Vegas. And they're a great sports town. They love their sports. Not dissimilar to Seattle in that particular way. And they lost all of their
Holy
franchises.
shit! That's crazy. That is all of them. What the fuck they got against Oakland? Is it because it's a black city?
I don't know. I think there might be something about like city size and infrastructure. I mean, but to be fair, the Oakland A's stadium, like the Oakland A's owner might be the cheapest man of all time, outside of the Cincinnati Bengals owner potentially. And when I say owner, I say of all time. When you like
The reason
sports owners
I
for
always
context.
know about the Aids is because they had the little they just have a really weird looking field. If I recall correctly, was it them Raiders who
What do you
played
mean?
in like a baseball field where you could like see the? Or am I thinking about that? Might be old. This
That's old. I know what stadium you're talking about,
okay,
and
okay.
that's a little old. But even still, the Oakland A's stadium was falling apart.
The one thing I do, my
But
fault.
like, oh no, go ahead. No, you
One
go
thing I
ahead.
wanted to bring up that I want to let everybody like finish up this sports talk on. Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears quarterback, rated a 90 overall in this year's Madden edition. We have come a long way. We have waited such a long time for this. The highest rated quarterback we ever had was Jay Cutler, 87 in like Madden 10. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's been I used to get these games whenever I would buy one of the editions. I would have to edit the Bears quarterback or trade for somebody. I remember trading for Matt Ryan his rookie year, and like that was who I went with as my quarterback. I remember putting Lamar on there. I remember like upgrading Justin Fields way better than he ever should have been. Like we have come a long way. I know that the people are worried about the curse. I know that people are worried about him living up to the hype. I'm just happy to have a Bears quarterback who has this type of high profile just role in the NFL landscape. We don't even know where he's at in the NFL 100 yet, but we know he's damn sure above Jordan Love. I'm ecstatic. It melts my heart. It's just one of those things that just got me smiling across this day. I will say, he might be a little like overly high on this NFL 100. Let me check where at because I heard something about him being like in the top 20, which I love Caleb. He ain't there yet.
I just know I'm mad about where my quarterback is on that list. But my quarterback's been getting hated since before he was born, it seems. So
Yeah, I don't know what they were on with Lamar. And the worst,
you're like 69,
you
nigga.
can't
That's
say it's
crazy.
media either. These are players that are doing it.
And I think that might just mean last season, and maybe because of last season, but the injury. But I'm like, my brother in Christ, you cannot name 68 players better than Lamar Jackson in the NFL. I'm sorry, you can't. I need you to name them, list them, and show me the proof. And don't say vibes. Don't say, oh well, No, I need you to. If you want to be a hater, be a true hater. Have evidence behind your hate. Have some principles behind.
All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing him for right now. I've got they are as of right now, as of this counting, they are only at 70 through 61. No, they're
Like
at 70
30.
through 61. So I feel like Caleb probably should be in the top, like barely top 50. If I'm being honest, I would say he's
Hmm.
like somewhere between 50 I could see if you're being generous putting him at 30. Even then, I start to
Hmm.
think to myself, there's a lot of players, if especially if we're talking about all positions, that sounds like that's getting a little high. Because we're talking about a guy that had a good season, always was successful in the clutch and when it counted, but quarters 1 through 3 weren't always pretty. So I don't know if I could really put him above, like, in that high of a premium spot. And I say that as a Bears super fan.
I'd say like top 28, I think, would be a good
28,
spot.
top 28.
I'm just mad because they said Drake London was higher than Lamar Jackson. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
understand how
that's
that
actually
works
fucking
whatsoever.
crazy.
Like,
Actually crazy. Okay, the disrespect towards Lamar, I can't say it's the players this time. That's the weird part. I can't even say they should know better.
also, it's crazy. He was number 2 last year. Like, nothing. Like, yeah, he was injured, but like, I don't really understand. Like, I understand it to an
Lamar must
extent,
have pissed some of
but
their asses
six,
off.
he's this. He must have did. He must have fucked somebody's mama
You
or
said it
something.
not
Not
me.
saying
I
he
was
has.
thinking
Not
the
saying no.
same
I'd be
thing. I was
very
like, he
clear.
must have went on it. He must.
But like, he did something.
That's.
But you know what? Actually, I know exactly what it is. It is actually quite an easy answer. Racism and stubbornness. People don't want. People were mad. People are
How
trying to
many of these players are
justify
black though?
them
If this was
rag.
media, I would definitely
Hmm?
agree with you. How many of players are black?
Also recency bias. Wow, Fox Sports put out their own top 10 quarterback list. Guess who's not on it? Lamar Jackson. Guess who is on it? Caleb Williams and Jordan Love and Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert.
Is Joe Burrow's on
Now
there?
there's some court. Yes, yes. You know they love themselves a little white
Okay,
chocolate.
come on now.
Little Joe
Come on. See,
Burrow. Little
that's
Joe
when you see the
Burrow.
hypocrisy. Cause that's bullshit. You can't put him up there. He don't. What?
This this is the Colin Cowherd list
Okay,
if I
yeah, that's
remember
okay.
correctly.
Yeah,
If I'm
yeah.
looking
You
at it correctly.
Colin Cowherd, he's sort of shown who he is. He lost he
And
lost
one
me with the
last
Jalen
thing, yeah,
Brown shit. He lost me with that.
I want to know how much money Justin Herbert is paying everybody to be consistently hyped like this. When I've seen this man have one of the biggest playoff meltdowns of my entire life, and I watched Rex Grossman choke a
Uh,
Super Bowl away,
I
mind you.
used to be somebody that was a Justin Herbert like believer. I never thought he was like as great as motherfuckers was trying to say he was, but I believe that he could be. And I still think he can be. But at this point, the memes are literally just true. He's if man. If his offensive line was healthy, if he had the right coach in this situation, if he had receivers that caught, if niggas don't deal with the reality of who he is right now.
I
Philip
watched this
Rivers
man
didn't get
throw.
this type of excuse, and he played him.
Just Philip Rivers wasn't a tall, handsome, strong white man. He was a tall,
I
strong
hate that
white man. The handsomeness
it'd be
does play a
hard to
factor
say it's
here.
anything else. Like, what else is he doing to get this sort of good PR? What else is niggas like him and other motherfuckers doing? And you know who else? Who I'd be shocked who doesn't get that same type of treatment? Baker Mayfield. They treat him like a nigga. This nigga be going out there playing hurt. They treat him like he done did something. I'm not trying to like cake for him too hard, but the way that motherfuckers are starting to talk about him playing himself out of Tampa because he was playing hurt last year. What's going on with us like not respecting quarterbacks? The quarterbacks that should be respected.
I still think that the Browns are suffering the curse of firing him and getting Deshaun Watson when he just beat the Steelers in the playoffs for their first playoff win in who knows how many decades. Like that's not something, and now they're paying for it. Now they barely have a Deshaun Watson with barely the Achilles have been held on by duct tape and dreams. Don't have Miles Garrett.
They could have kept him and
So I
they would have had a core. That has to haunt that owner.
uh
And then again, I'll never forget it. We need an adult at quarterback. So they get what they deserve.
Justin Herbert. There is a so just everybody talks about Justin Herbert, all the skills, all the tools. So when are we gonna start measuring him like we measure all the people supposed to be as good as him? And by that I mean he's 0-3 in the playoffs. He was up 35 and he lost. He choked away a game against Houston. More interceptions than he had touchdowns. What are we doing, folks? And I understand people like, oh, his division. Yeah, and hell, people have a tough division. Look at the NFC, look at the AFC North. Demons in there. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, formerly Miles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, Mike Tomlin, demons. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing about if he's a great quarterback, holding the great quarterback standards, holding the same standard you hold Lamar Jackson or Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes, and even when he's injured, right? Like, if we gonna do this, we need to do this because, like, you can't be calling Justin Herbert a top five quarterback in the league when he's 0-3 in the playoffs, has sometimes has injury history, and is like putting up empty calories
You
all
would
the
think he's
time.
done what Joe Burrow's done. With Joe Burrow, I can at least excuse some of the like bullshit caping because he led his team to a Super Bowl when he was getting his ass kicked the whole time. I'll still give him credit for that and a little bit of equity, although it's running out.
Because he's missed the playoffs the
Yes.
past three, four
But with
years.
Justin Herbert,
Like, to be fair, he's been balling. I will say that he's a hooper. His defense is just
and you do have to give him credit for that year, I want to say it was 2 years ago now, where he put up 5,000 and was just going fucking crazy. They had
fantastic.
no defense. They were siphoning points.
I still think some Bengals from that season should be indicted for throwing games because ain't no way you're that bad.
I it's crazy to see an offense of that level just be squandered. And you got a healthy season from this nigga. 17.
Which is
Just for
rare.
him to go back to being injury prone the next year. So that might be a snake bit franchise. But somehow, even through all of it, we got to go back to it, he still gets this good PR. So I try not to think about it that way of it just being a race thing. But honestly, at this point, that's sort of the only thing I can think of for certain motherfuckers. Because if me,
Why is Jalen Hurts two-time one-time Super Bowl winner, two-time gone to Super Bowl back-to-back, outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both those Super Bowls? And it was like, is Jalen Hurts' job on the line? I'm like, there are so many other people's jobs are on the line before we get to Jalen Hurts. Now, that may be a locker room thing, fair, but if you're talking about like on the field of play, there's a whole lot of people on the you should be fired list before we get to Jalen Hurts.
I completely agree. He's somebody that just sort of gets that deal. I blame a portion of it on just the Philly market, but it gets
And
overly weird with the way he's talked about. It gets overly weird with the way a lot of guys are just sort of discussed and brought up to the point where it just makes you have to wonder, what is the deal for real?
who knows? I don't. I sure don't. What do I know? I've never played in the NFL. I have no contact with the NFL. I don't know shit. I just know what my eyes tell me, and my eyes tell me that Jalen Hurts should not be on the hot seat.
He shouldn't.
But it would be hilarious if all these high-profile quarterbacks start getting traded around, and you see like Jalen Hurts in New Orleans. That would be lit. Tell me this when I wouldn't be hilarious. Like, oh, you want to get rid of your all NFL quarterback? Sure, we'll take him and send him to Indiana. No disrespect to Daniel Jones, but like we'll send him to Tennessee. No disrespect to Cam Ward. He's very good. That team is just dead. Uh we can send him to Miami.
And see,
Right.
that's why I think a part of it, because the Philly's never gonna do that. Those owners in the GM, Howie knows that it's too fucking hard to actually get a quarterback. Even if you don't think that Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback, he's no worse than top 10. You're not just replacing that. You're not. So anybody that's hating on him, that's trying to say that he is like the worst, I think is just they're betraying themselves in what their beliefs are. Not betraying, but exposing. Because it's just hard for me to really take you seriously when we're coming out saying certain things. Like people that can try to say that you just can't do anything with Jalen Hurts or that he's the worst starter or any of these weird hyperbole.
JJ McCarthy and Jacoby Brissett both started games last year. I
I've
don't hear
seen
none of
crazier
that. No
comments.
disrespect to
I've
those
seen
two
crazier
guys, but
comments.
that again, like I said, Tyler Shuck started a game for an NFL franchise last year, multiple games. So did Jacoby Brissett. So did JJ McCarthy. So
I
did
think JJ ran that
insert.
award, won that award with running away. Like there was nobody worse than him.
There's some games where I'm like, oh, he hooping. Other games I'm like, what are your eyes working? But I also understand like he's young, and NFL defenses have gotten infinitely more complex over time with their schemes and their shells and their ability to move people around pre-snap.
He
I
already
understand this.
wasn't a motherfucker that was known for throwing at Michigan though. So I don't know what they were thinking taking him that high. It was always weird to me.
They should have never got rid of Sam Darnold.
Hey, I agree with you, but I'm happy he got his ass out of Minnesota. Very happy.
Got himself a chip. Eh, I
I wish he would
good
have
for
went to the
him.
AFC, but hey, good for Seattle, and I'm not gonna hate.
The Jets need a quarterback, but that's a
He ain't
neither here
going
nor
over there
there.
again.
He doesn't want to see ghosts
Hell
again.
no.
I agree.
But we have reached our time, y'all. This has been another edition of Sports Talk. I do want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in once again. And I do need to take a moment to just talk about a little something that happened. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, an RSS feed is something that houses it basically holds all of your podcast stuff together. It is what you would use as like a spot to redirect people, and it is used to distribute my podcast to all these different spaces that I'm on. Recently, I looked into changing mine, and I did that, and I made a very critical error because when I made this change, it's transferred all of my video episodes where you get to see my lovely face along with Cams on the Sports Talks, and it made them audio only. Now, I have switched back. I am going to still be releasing video episodes, as you can clearly see. But what this means is that I am going to have to go through and literally just manually re-upload the video file onto all of these episodes. It may take time. It is not going to be something that happens overnight. So don't expect to be able to watch your favorite episode where you're seeing my face and everything fairly like immediately, but it is going to happen. Um, I apologize to anybody that definitely preferred the video episodes, and I apologize that when you click all of them, you're just gonna be seeing a thumbnail, even though you're hearing audio and you might be hearing sound clips. But with all that being said, bear with me because I will get it corrected. Shit gonna be right. And before I forget, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hype the video so you're boosting me up in the algorithm. And if you are on everywhere else, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, do whatever you have to do so that you stay up to date on whenever Kinetic Aesthetic drops new content. But like I said, this has been Sports Talk. Cam, do you have any last words you want to say for this week?
Hey, everybody, stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah,
Love
because it's
yourself.
hot as fuck. It's hot as shit.
Also, go see the Odyssey this weekend if you can. It's gonna be fantastic.
What? Are you free this weekend to go see it?
I'm seeing it already
Okay,
on
okay, okay,
Sunday.
okay. Yeah, I might have to go.
But I'm gonna see it again, so we can figure
Hit,
out
hit the line, hit the line, hit the line. Because I
something.
definitely want to go see that. I want to go see that. I need to finish this movie, The Mummy, on H. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. We can talk about this after I get done with the recording. This has been Sports Talk, everybody. It's your boy Germ, Cam. We signing out. Y'all have a beautiful
Peace.
rest of y'all evening, and then even have a better rest of y'all week.